Hi guys, it's Chris with City Your Homestead. I'm not starting dinner yet, but I am going to start prep for dinner for the next couple days. How's that? So I had to put in an order to Sam's. We were running out of batteries, oil, some other stuff. So I got a little bit of a stock up on things that I needed to get. So I thought, while I'm ordering, why not get a rotisserie chicken? $4.98. And use that for meals for the next couple days. So, but we're not going to eat a whole chicken. So I've got a big bowl over here, and then I've got a gallon bag because, of course, you need to save all of those bones and the skin and everything else, because you can later on down the road, even if you don't can, you can freeze broth. So, be saving your pieces to your, like carrots and celery and onions and all those things. And yes, I let this cool down a little bit before I did it. But you can actually use your skin too, which holds a lot of that flavor. And I'm telling you, when you make your broth out of these chickens like this, that broth is so deep and so rich. And if you can't get up all the meat off of there, that's fine too, because you know what? It'll boil off while you're making your broth. So that way you don't let anything go to waste, and you have amazing broth and excuse me, an amazing chicken as you're going through. So, like if you don't can, you can put them in glass jars if you want. You can put them, I've put them even in bags, and you can freeze your broth. You can put them in containers like this and break them down into, ones that you feel would be what you need for your family. And then once I get all this meat off of there, then I'm going to put that carcass and all the pieces and any drippings that are on the bottom in a gallon bag. And then I will freeze it until I'm ready to do broth. Because since I do can, I will make sure that I, am canning up quite a few quarts at one time. Well, not necessarily quite a few, but a few anyway. How's that? Do you remember when you were a kid and your parents would let that dry out and then you could break it apart? They have it on the turkey too. And every kid wanted that. I remember that at Christmas. Every kid wanted the wishbone. But see, like bones like that, all of that releases all different kinds of taste. And, broth is getting to be expensive even when it's on sale. But make sure you look at the bottom of your chicken too, because there's a lot of hidden meat back there that you don't want to forget. And it doesn't take long to do this. I mean, it's a little messy. Your hands will get a little greasy. You don't have to do it with just this kind of chicken. You can actually do it with your own, home cooked chicken as well. But look at all this meat that's on the back. So don't forget that meat either. So, I'm going to continue to do this, and there should be plenty enough meat in there that it should cover the next 2 days of meals at least. So, I'll come back when it's supper time. Alright, so now we're back to making dinner. I've got my oven preheating to 350, and I have 2 cups of elbow noodles in there. So, I've been liking to do those recipes that you add, dressing to or whatever, because it makes it quick and easy. Now, most of them want you to start out with dry noodles, and then you're going to cook it for an hour in the oven, basically. Well, it's summer, and even though I have central air, I don't want to have to cook it in the oven for an hour, and I don't want to have to depend on the noodles getting soft. You know what I mean? So I'm going to boil this and get those done. Then we're going to add everything else. Now, this recipe does not ask for meat, vegetables, nothing, but I want to make it a one-pan meal so that we've got our vegetables, our, you know, protein, everything all in one. So that's what I'm going to do. So this is what the chicken is that I got cut up earlier. It filled that entire thing up. So I just want to dice it. I don't want to shred it up. I'm just going to dice it. And there really isn't a certain amount that you need to add or anything like that. It's just whatever you feel comfortable with. Yeah, because I was reading the directions, and then you got to add milk, you got to do this, you got to do that. And I'm like, you know, I didn't do my Italian dressing one that way. And Tom goes, do it the way you feel comfortable with. Which he doesn't think he's going to be done today. So I told him maybe you could finish up Thursday after you get done with work. So we'll see. The main thing isn't for him to earn something, it's to get it done because we're coming up to a holiday weekend and he has 3 days off. And, you know, wouldn't it be nice to go do something? No, we don't even have to go do anything, but just, you know, kind of chill. And we thought about, you know, having maybe a cookout for our family, but he's got like the siding on the picnic table and whatever. So I says, well, why don't we just count on a cookout for maybe Labor Day? And maybe by then you can have all the siding, you know, used up and off the table. He put it on the table so he doesn't have to do constant bending over. Because that's his hard thing right now, is the bending over thing. That's about 1.5 cups of meat. I think that should be plenty to go in with 2 cups of noodles. And put that back in the refrigerator. Maybe I'll have to figure out a third meal to use all the chicken up with. I'm not against making 3 meals out of 1 chicken. Not at all. So, I'm going to finish letting these noodles cook, and then we're going to get them drained, bring them back, and I'm going to put everything together. Alright, so here we go. Hopefully I got enough, big enough container to put it in, because it said an 8x8, but that's before we added stuff to it. So, we're going to add that chicken to it, and like I said, there's about 1.5 cups of chicken there. And the reason I'm adding peas is because they're small. Then, if you remember right, a while back I had gotten some of the Thousand Island dressing, the big family size, for $1. And so I've been thinking about ways that I could use that up. Well, ta-da, here it is. We're going to use 1 cup of Thousand Island dressing. Now the recipe also calls for 2 cups of milk, but I have to wonder if the 2 cups of milk was because it was going to bake in the oven and cook the noodles. So we'll see. That made a mess. And I'm going to add a little bit of pepper, but I'm not going to add salt to it, because I'm sure there's salt in that dressing and everything else. So let's mix this together. And if I feel like it needs to have milk, I'll add a little bit to it. But honestly, it looks like it's going to coat the entire thing. Now the other question is, will it be too overpowering and need that milk? So let's take a small taste and see what we think. I don't think it will be. No. That's really good, actually. You never think about doing stuff like that. You know what I mean? You buy a bottle of dressing and you think you're going to use it for your, just to make salad or whatever. You don't think about it with other stuff. At least I don't usually. Well, except for Italian dressing. And we're going to pour it in that bowl, in that pan. It's going to be full, but I think it's going to be all right. And yes, I dropped a noodle on the floor. See, it doesn't matter if I sweep the floor or somebody else. I seem to want to make a mess of it. That's just how it is, I guess. And then, of course, we need cheese. You know, honestly, we don't use that much milk. Like that half gallon is probably going to go to waste. It expired today, I think. Alrighty. I'll have to clean the floor back up. Bad Chris. Now I'm going to put it in that 250-degree oven. And I'm going to set it for 20 minutes. And I'm going to see how it's done with cooking and also maybe getting a little brown on top. And then I'll be back. Tom said he's going to leave there at 5. It's only about 4:15, something like that. This has been a long job. 3 weeks, and it's a long job. He's getting frustrated. So, yeah. And the parts that he's had to buy has run into our profit. So that kind of sucks when that does that. But, you know, what are you going to do? He's got to finish it. So, I'll be back when this is done. Alright, so it is done. Now, I think it turned out beautiful. It looks beautiful anyway. So, I guess we should taste it, right? Tom said he's going to finish up the one little soldering and then he'll be home. So, I'm not sure that I'm going to dish everything up yet or if I'm just going to wait for him to call me and tell me he's on his way home. I want to get that, forget that crispy cheese on the side, right? To be honest, it's almost like a mac and cheese with a little ting to it, but it's really good. I would have never thought to use Thousand Island dressing like that. But you know, when I'm like scouring the internet for recipes and stuff, you never know what you're going to come across. You know what I mean? So, that one, definitely a winner. And I didn't have to have it in the oven for an hour either. I don't mind the cooking noodles in liquid, but the idea of cooking it an hour in milk, just, I don't know, it didn't seem right to me. So, and I'm sure it would have been fine. But, I just tried to call him, he didn't answer. We'll see what he's doing, because I'd like to eat with my husband. So, we'll be back. Well, hi, Tom.
Hello.
So another full day, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
There's dinner. So it's Thousand Island macaroni. But I added chicken and peas to it.
Chicken what?
I added chicken and peas to it.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's real good.
It is good, isn't it?
What's the sauce?
Thousand Island dressing.
Oh, okay.
What do you think?
This is yummy.
You like it?
Mm-hmm.
We bought seat covers for my car, and the back doesn't fit. So we have to fold it all back up and try to put it in that little tiny bag, which I don't
Actually,
think.
that bag's not too bad to put things in.
Okay.
I might get lucky with that one.
I hope so.
Yeah, you sit down on your suitcase to.
Right.
It's got a zipper on, so probably do the same thing with that.
So what do you think? Winner, Thousand Island dinner?
Winner, $1,000 dinner.
Alrighty. And one more day.
Yeah.
And that sucks. Alright. So you guys have a blessed night. Be a blessing. And goodbye, Tom.
Goodbye, Tom.
You guys have a great night.